with YELLO, you understand how important you are in the history of electronic music.
Well, we never really, how should I say, and I don't want to sound snobbish, but we really never cared, you know. I mean, we only learned from other people that we obviously had some influence on certain musicians and on a certain style, but we never were aware of this. We just got a big award in Germany for our lifetime achievement, the biggest award you can get in Europe, and it truly came to a total surprise. You know. After some years in this business, I finally have my solo album. We produced this virtual concert, a film, with our last album, Touch Yellow. It's a very funny little film, fake concerts, you know, that we constructed digitally, the stages, and we calculated ourselves into. A promoter said, Dieter, why don't you go on tour with this? I can book you some venues, you show the film and you talk to people. And I said, yeah, why not? We could do this. And I felt it was not enough for the 40 euro that I was giving to the people. So I went to see some musicians that I know, a fiddler and a guitar player, and said, I'm going to write 3-4 songs and you guys play it, and in addition to just showing the film and talking, we have this little miniature concert. People loved it, and this promoter said, why don't you write more songs, form a whole band, and I can send you on tour. I said, yeah, I could do this. Anyhow, I go to Argentina where I farm, and I had almost forgotten about this whole thing, so the guy calls me after 6 weeks and said, Dieter, fantastic, we have great theaters booked, and the tour is on. I said, are you crazy? I don't have a band and I don't have the songs. Nothing. And that was like 3 weeks before I came back to Switzerland, and maybe 1 week rehearsal, and then we should be on that tour. Under the pressure of not wanting to let this guy down, yeah, I took this old gaucho guitar and I started to fool around with this thing, and for 2 weeks nothing. And suddenly, like within maybe 5-6 days, I had these 14 songs. So I came back to Zurich. The tour went really well. I did not want just to have this stage sound on a CD. I wanted to have more of a conceptual album. So I went to Berlin and I met these quite avant-garde producers, played them the songs from a live concert. They listened to that and they proposed how they saw it, how they would produce it. I went back to Berlin, and it was very strange to me what they proposed, but I loved it. It was totally different from what we had live on stage. And this is how this album came about, and for the first time in my whatever 40-year career, I got these incredible reviews as a singer-songwriter. You know, people compare me with you name it, and I mean, never ever. YELLO was being taken seriously by a lot of producers, by a lot of kids, but and maybe some critics, but not in like the New York Times never wrote about YELLO. You know, it was more like the music press. But this time, this is really considered an interesting singer-songwriter, culturally very respected project. When I had my first concert with that first Out of Chaos band, I mean, Boris really didn't like it. He thought I would destroy the reputation of YELLO. I would make a fool of myself, you know. Of course, he couldn't stop me. We premiered this in a nice concert hall in Zurich, the most prominent concert hall, 800 people, and of course I was very nervous, you know. Not anymore, but then, because I didn't know, do I hit these notes on stage, you know? Can I remember the melodies? Can I, you know, when you've never done it and you're on stage for whatever, 90 or 100 minutes, if it's new at my age, it's something different. And after the show, I mean, it was total euphoria. People were standing on their chairs and everybody was raving, and Boris and Peter came backstage and they said, Dieter, you pulled it off.
Jimmy, 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 Jimmy,